Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to Just Tap Tasting, where we taste some beers here at the Wilkie that we've just tapped. I'm Brian Fisher, and this is Eric.
Hello, everyone.
Sterniolo.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
You did.
I should probably know how to say that.
It's been almost 2 years, so you should know.
Yeah, so Eric is actually, this is a special episode number 108.
Yeah. Lucky number 108.
Lucky number 108, and it is special for a few reasons because I don't know if you've been here to the Wilkie, where we're sitting right now, it's at 108 Patchen Avenue. And so we've been doing the show for a little while. We passed the 100 mark, which for a lot of these kind of projects for people out in the YouTube sphere and other places, 100 is kind of a milestone, and we decided to kind of be a little playful with it and really celebrate and dig in and say thank you on episode number 108 and bring someone special on the show. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, great to be here.
Yeah. So tell them a little bit about how'd you get into beer? How did we meet? What do you do here?
Yeah, well, I think like a lot of us, I have a beer godfather who introduced me.
A beer godfather?
Beer godfather.
Oh, wow.
Or mentor.
Gotcha.
Who introduced me.
Who showed you a better way.
Yeah, who introduced me to craft beer.
Cool.
My friend Andrew, who you've met.
Yeah. Shout out to Andrew.
Yeah,
What
hi
up?
Andrew. We started a blog together. We do Instagram, Twitter, still going on.
What's the name of that blog?
It's where'sthebeerny.com.
Cool, yeah, we'll link that up below.
Or where'sthebeerny on Twitter and Instagram.
What kind of stuff do you focus on there?
Basically, we focus on the New York City beer scene and where to find the best beer in the city.
So what the name says.
Where's the beer?
That's
NY,
great.
yeah.
Love it.
So from there, I got into beer buying, and then we actually met on Instagram.
Cool.
Before the bar even opened.
Right.
So
we like Instagram, so follow us both on Instagram.
Yes.
At the Wilkie Bar, at Where's the Beer NY. But yeah, it is kind of special and fun. And there's been actually a couple other relationships that stemmed from Instagram as it ties specifically to beer and the Wilkie here. So it's really a wonderful, exciting place. What a world we live in today. It's kind of wild to think about. But just so, because not everyone who's watching really notices who you are in the sense of like what a beer buyer is. Explain what is that position?
Right. Well, basically, it's kind of self-explanatory. We have 18 taps here. I buy the beer. I choose everything that we've ever poured. Trying to keep the tap list balanced and interesting. Something for, we like to say, we always want to have stuff for people who are brand new to beer, brand new to craft beer, and huge beer nerds like us.
Absolutely. So yeah, just covering our bases, and we feel like the canvas of having 18 lines give us an opportunity to constantly be painting a new picture, but also staying in a framework that creates approachability, which is really exciting. And so there's a lot of strategy involved in that, and he's the artist behind all that strategy. And so that's kind of what beer buying is.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And not everyone, sometimes it is, a beer buy. Yeah, I just go and I buy beer. But we obviously pay attention, and that's actually, to celebrate here on the show. This is one of the strategic moves you made recently.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, this is a good beer for me to be on the show.
I think so. Yeah, it's celebratory, if you will.
Yeah, it's rare, so beer nerds will love it. But it's also, I feel like we'll get into the flavor later, but it's a beer that non-beer drinkers or new beer drinkers will appreciate because it's not so beery.
Yeah, right. It's different for a lot of reasons, and like you said, we're gonna dive into that. You know what's up here on the show. That's what it's all about. We're drinking beers that we've just tapped. But real quick, one of those other Instagram connections that I love is the people who made it possible to pour this beer in a glass, which is these guys over at Draft Choice, and they installed our draft system. And there's a lot of science behind that, and pressure systems and all these different things. And some people are pretty impressed by it when they look at the tower and like, how does that all work? How does it all fit? Where does it all go? Where does it all come from? And so Anton and the guys over at Draft Choice kind of set us up with that, and we'll link them up. Follow them on Instagram. You'll kind of get an inside look, kind of an underneath the hood perspective on how draft systems work and how they're built. And so we'll link up their Instagram. You should go follow Draft Choice. But it's time to talk about this beer. So this beer is from Cigar City, and we've been on a Cigar City kick lately. But I think that's a good thing because they make really tasty beer. And this is the Marshal Zhukov Penultimate Push. And so it's a Russian Imperial Stout, I think like 11.9% alcohol. And why don't you tell them a little bit about Marshal Zhukov, specifically the beer at Cigar City, and what are some of the similarities and stuff?
Well, think about, so Cigar City has a beer, Marshal Zhukov's Imperial Stout, which is kind of the base beer for this one. But for a base beer, it's pretty amazing. It's one of the best, I would say, non-barrel aged Imperial Stouts in the world. I think it has a 100 rating on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer. So they took that beer and added coffee, chocolate, and vanilla to get what we have here.
Yeah.
And they also have done some other variants. They did one that was just coffee, which I think was called the Final Push.
Right.
They have one that's vanilla and hazelnuts, I think.
Right.
And there's also this crazy one, which is a chocolate chip pancake.
Yeah, they do, and that's funny you bring that up, because Cigar City is definitely known for doing a lot of I say like food flavor driven beers. I mean, like we just had something that was an Imperial oatmeal raisin cookie brown ale. Right. So that the fact that they were doing a pancake variation of this beer is pretty. Apple pie cider. They do, and you know what? There's a lot of breweries that get weird and do fun, playful stuff like this. But I'm always impressed by Cigar City's ability to have those flavors show up in the glass, but then also for the beverage to not forget that it's beer or cider in that case. So I find that balance to be really, really compelling. And a little bit about Marshal Zhukov, and I think the name, they have a lot of like revolution and like ties to Russian imperialism at the brewery and some of their branding and things, and then also tied to the Cuban community, and that's where the name comes from. But specifically this series of beer, Marshal Zhukov, it's was it Georgy Zhukov? Is that the guy's name?
Yes.
Georgy, or I don't know how to say that, but he was like a Russian, general during the Soviet Union, and I think he led, a famous battle into Berlin with
the Battle of Berlin,
which ended World War II.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he was basically the general for that battle.
Pretty serious dude.
And that
historically,
the coffee version of this, Final Push, is named after the Battle of Berlin. Yeah,
actually, he's not. This isn't him life size, but just this is good old Georgy Zhukov.
He's got a lot of medals.
He's got a lot of medals. He does. You know what? Cigar City has a lot of medals.
That's true.
Serious man, serious beer. We're just connecting the dots here on the show. Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. I think that one last before we dive into taking a look at this beer, which is what we're here to do. It's just exciting to have Eric on the show. It's exciting to episode 108. It's exciting that you're watching. Thank you.
Yeah.
All the excitement got it. It's a little distracted, but one last thing I wanted to mention is Cigar City is known for this particular Russian Imperial Stout called Hunupu, and it's kind of a crazy thing for them. A couple weeks ago they do this big party and celebration and festival, if you will, and they bring in breweries from all over the country for sure, maybe the world, to bring in their craziest, most rad stuff to pour at this event, and then they release this bottle, and that's the only way you can get access to it. You can't go to the store and buy it. It's just sold there, other than maybe like the secondary market. But this is like a cousin beer of that. Or maybe this is the base beer. I've heard a lot of speculation. If you're super nerdy about beer and you're watching the show, and jump down in the comments below, because I'm not really sure, but I've heard it's the father, it's the base beer, it's the cousin of. They're related. They're related because they're both Imperial Stouts. Hunupu is using cocoa, vanilla, chili peppers. I think as far as like Imperial Stouts with chili peppers in them and that whole trend, I would say it's one of the better ones out there. So pretty exciting. Well, yeah, let's dive in here. Color-wise,
I think I know what you're going to say. I think it's motor oil black.
He's watched the show before. I think it is though. Would you disagree with that?
No, I agree.
I wasn't going to say motor oil because I try to freshen up. I was just going to say dark. Dark is.
Dark. Neither of us are very good at colors. But I would say,
but there's such a wide scale of color in that can show up in the glass in beer. But yeah, it's got like a rich brown head to it as well. But as beers get higher in alcohol, like this one being over 11%, usually stylistically, the carbonation is going to be quite a bit lower. And
it is kind of oily too.
It is. Yeah, I mean, and also alcohol and sugar being closely related and how it being produced, there is there's going to be more sugar content, more viscosity, and then some of the other sweet things. And so that oiliness is definitely going to be a reality in any beer in this style. Let's take it into the nose.
Yeah, let's take it into the nose.
How long have you been waiting to say that on the show?
Let's see. We met.
Never.
We met almost 2 years ago. 2 years.
I get a little bit, like dark, roasty vibe. Not much sweetness. I get more like a coffee kind of thing going on.
Yeah, a little bit of the vanilla, a little bit of like burnt coffee maybe.
Yeah, a little bit of like molasses, kind of is that dark, like really burnt sugar vibe. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
We're here to drink.
Yeah.
Wow, so initially like really fresh coffee flavor, and then surprisingly, there's quite a bit of bitterness here.
Yeah.
And I think, so when I was like trying to learn a little bit more about these beers and like the difference in the variations between the Penultimate Push that we have here and the original just Marshal Zhukov Imperial Stout, I found a discrepancy, and I really don't think that they're changing the hops, but I want to say, because, and maybe they did, maybe they're really tied to the story, but the initial one they're using English hops, and in this one it was listed as German hops, and maybe that has something to do with the Battle of Berlin. But the thing is that maybe that's a typo, maybe that's reality. At the end of the day, both of them are very similar in their profile in that they tend to be herbal, tea, spicy kind of qualities versus that like citrus pine that we see here in hops grown in the U.S.
I agree, and I get like almost if you were having brownies, the corner of a brownie and having the crust, like the burnt end. Incredible imagery right there.
Like burnt brownie crust. That was my favorite part. I always like the corners.
Yeah, corners are the best.
I wonder if that's tied. Do you think that's tied to people who are the kind of people who eat the whole pizza, including the crust? Do you think that's the same person? Like if someone eats a pizza and they don't eat the crust, is that same person willing to eat the corner in the brownie tray?
Well, I usually don't eat the pizza crust.
Oh, well, so here we go.
But in
answered.
Pie, the crust is my favorite part.
Wow.
Brownies, I always get the corner.
So you are wishy-washy on crust. You're not like one track.
Your theory was just debunked.
It's an important theory.
By one person.
It's been keeping me up at night a lot. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is great. It's not. I don't taste any heat from the alcohol.
Yeah, which is an achievement in itself when you're brewing beers this gravity and this high in alcohol. So the fact that that's not there.
The vanilla, tiny bit, like a little bit of sweetness from the vanilla.
Yeah, it's a touch though, but it's like really balanced by like the roasty, toasty notes of the coffee and the bitterness from the hops that is like showing, and like that burnt sugar and molasses, like yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of this beer. You should come in and celebrate episode 108. The first person to come in and say that you watched this beer being tasted on the show for 108 will get a free one.
Wow.
Yeah. Check that out. You watched it to the end and it was worth it. You can come in and get a free beer of this beer. So come in as soon as you can and enjoy it.
I'm not eligible.
You're not. Eric is not eligible. That'd be cheating, and none of you in the audience are eligible either. just so you know. Yeah. No, but all you're gonna say is, "I'm here for the penultimate push." That's what you're gonna tell the bartender. and my producer does not like that, but that's what we're going with. And yeah, I'm excited. Thanks so much for being on the show, and thank you, as I'm sure anyone in the audience who not only watches the show but comes in and drinks these amazing beers. Thank you, sir, for
thank you, and
the quality decisions you make on a regular basis.
Thank you, and thank you everyone who's come in and drank the beer I chose.
Yeah, it's important, right?
Yeah, it is important
because they have to drink it so you can choose more beer.
And I actually have a question of the day.
Do you really?
I do.
Oh my gosh, I was almost about to end it. Thank God Eric's on top of it.
I've seen the show before.
That's good.
I know about the nose.
Do you know about the nose and the nose knows?
Yeah. So
do you know about that?
Sure.
All right.
So my
okay,
question,
Eric,
yeah,
ask
my
the question
question
of the day.
It's not a very good question,
Well,
but it's a question.
Not all questions are.
So when I was reading about General Zhukov, there's all this bear imagery and Russia.
Really?
And like
bears,
bears,
like
yeah.
grizzly bears, something like that.
That's like the unofficial like mascot of Russia.
Well, that's interesting because we have a guy on the show. He's called the Share Bear. So this is really just coming full circle.
True. He's Russian.
He's right here.
Right.
His name is Marshall, actually. So another just layers upon layers.
So my question would be,
Okay.
if the Wilkie had a mascot,
Oh.
what animal would it be?
Right. Kind of like that.
Pigeon or
a
squirrel?
pigeon. A pigeon.
A squirrel, a dinosaur.
Oh my gosh.
Could be my dog.
Could be your
I
dog.
have a cute dog. Or maybe
Cool.
there was like an animal that was native to Bed-Stuy.
Years and years ago.
Like many years ago.
That's great.
Like a bobcat,
That would be wild.
Brooklyn bobcat.
The Brooklyn Bobcat.
Yeah. So what
That
should
sounds
our,
like, yeah.
what should our mascot be?
I think that's a great question. Question of the day, you heard it, is what if the Wilkie had a mascot? What would it be? Answer in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched all 108 episodes, let us know. I want to say thank you personally, and I'm really excited to see what the next 108 will bring, and to drink more tasty beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers, dude.
Cheers.